There are over 2,600 billionaires in the world. Only 15 are black. And only one stands alone. He's not a celebrity. Heaton doesn't own a sports team. Yet he holds more power than many presidents. No headlines, no Hollywood, no hype. But he quietly controls what you build, what you eat, and soon, what you fuel. This is not Jay-Z, not Oprah, not LeBron. This is Aliko Dangote. And this is the secret life of the richest black person alive. Forbes has crowned him Africa's richest man for 12 straight years. His net worth once passed $20 billion. Yet outside Africa, he's nearly invisible. Many can't even pronounce his name. Why? Because Aliko Dangote doesn't chase cameras. He builds kingdoms. In a continent where silence is survival, Dangote's silence is not absence. It is strategy. He rarely grants interviews, doesn't flaunt yachts or private islands. But what he owns touches the lives of over 500 million people.
First of all, thank you very much, David. It's great to be here, and also seeing you today. Well, when they call you the wealthiest person in Africa, it comes with a lot of baggage. Of course, there are so many demands here and there, where people now come up with so many different, demands. But it is good because I like to give back to the society. So we need to set up this Africa Center. We need to make it a reality. First of all, for us to be able to project Africa in a better light, bringing Africa to the rest of the world.
So right now, one of the big problems in Africa is health, and you've been very involved in trying to eradicate polio in Nigeria, along with Bill Gates and his foundation. What is the progress that you've made to date?
I think we've done quite a lot. The progress has been very, very tremendous. In the last 3 years, we haven't really had any wild virus of polio, and hopefully when we work hard between now and the next 6 months, by April we'll be certified to be polio-free country, which means the entire African continent will be polio-free.
Born in 1957 in Kano, Nigeria, Aliko Dangote came from wealth, but he saw beyond it. At just 8 years old, he sold candy to his classmates. That instinct to sell, to multiply, never left him. At 21, with a $3,000 loan from his uncle, he began importing rice, cement, sugar. What began as hustle would soon become dominance. That $3,000 became billions. He didn't just want to sell, he wanted to supply, to manufacture, to control.
For joining us.
Thank you very much.
So we'd like to start off by asking, who is Mr. Aliko Dangote?
Well, obviously, as you know, yes, my name is Aliko Dangote. I was born in 57, April 10th, in 57. Went to, after my education, I started business in Lagos in 1978. And as of today, I'm the CEO of Dangote Industries, which is the holding company of, Dangote Group.
Yeah.
Well, the journey really, the journey has actually been very, very excellent. It's been very exciting, I can say, but also was a little bit of challenge here and there. You are right, we were actually a trading company. We traded from 1978 up to 1997 in proper sort of trading and trying bits and pieces. In 1989 though, we tried to do textile, and we built a big business in textile, almost up to about 6,400 workers, of which we had to close down. But we have always been able to overcome the challenges, because the way that we operate is that we think big and we roll out very big, but it's been good so far.
If you eat, if you build, if you drive, you've likely paid Dangote. Sugar, salt, pasta, cement, flour, oil, even freight. Today, Dangote controls over 80% of Nigeria's cement market. He owns the largest sugar refinery in Africa, the largest salt processor, the largest flour mill. If you're building a house in West Africa, you're building with Dangote. He doesn't just dominate industries. In some, he is the industry. Cement alone made him a billionaire many times over. Some call it genius, others call it a monopoly. His competitors say they can't break in. His supporters say he built what no one else dared. But how did he build this monopoly? And what does it cost the rest of the market? In 2016, Dangote made a move. Even his rivals thought was insane. He began building the largest single-train oil refinery in the world. In Nigeria, a country with no stable power grid. 650,000 barrels of crude oil processed every single day. The project would cost over $19 billion. It was self-funded. If it failed, his empire could collapse. But if it worked, it would make him untouchable. They said no individual could pull it off. But then again, they said no one could dominate African cement either. He lives simply, eats traditional food, travels discreetly. Yet he manages one of the most complex and far-reaching empires on Earth. He doesn't throw parties, doesn't flaunt gold chains or designer suits. And while he's worth more than many global celebrities combined, you'll rarely see his photo on a gossip blog. He's been married and divorced 3 times. His daughters stay out of headlines. His personal phone number, unknown to most. With wealth comes scrutiny. Not everyone sees Dangote as a savior. Critics accuse him of monopolies, price fixing, and political favoritism. Some say he works too closely with Nigeria's elite, that he blocks competition, that his success doesn't empower others, it eliminates them. His response? Simple. I'm just doing what others wouldn't. But is he Africa's Rockefeller? Or its most powerful gatekeeper?
Tell us what exactly this you are doing and why it costs all this amount of money.
Well, actually, thank you very much, Mo. First of all, I would like to thank you for inviting me to this Mo Ibrahim's weekend. It's a great pleasure to be here. Yesterday, I was actually sweating when there was an accident, going to the airport.
Where? In
London.
In London? Okay, you were in London, I said.
Yeah, because Stansted Airport closes at 10. I said that, well, if I'm not able to make it,
I will never talk to you again.
I know, and that's more expensive than my project.
You know why this guy is charming, Anyway, thank you very much.
So really, what we have today, Mo, is that we have almost about 5 major projects. We have the refinery, which is 650,000 barrels per day.
650,000
barrels per day. We have the petrochemical, which is 1.3 million tons of polypropylene, polyethylene, which will make us second largest exporter of petroleum products in sub-Saharan Africa after Sasol. Then we have 3 million tons of urea and ammonia, which is fertilizer, and also we have the gas pipeline. But the 3 have actually moved very, very fast. And then we have the cement. We are doing about $2 billion worth of the. Then agriculture, we have rice, 1 million tons, which we are building with integrated power, because we are in the localities where we are going to process, do parboiling. The rice we eat is different than the rice here in Côte d'Ivoire. We eat parboiled rice, so you have to boil the rice and do the process. With all this, the most challenging one, which is really very good, is the refinery. It has opened our eyes to see the lack of infrastructure in Africa.
Well, what you have to do?
We have. The refinery is actually on a, first of all, let me tell you the challenges and what we are facing. It's just outside Lagos. We took up a land which is about 2.7 million square meters.
2.7 million?
Yeah, square meters. It's huge. It's massive. Internal roads alone, we have 136 drainage, some of them as wide as 40 meters, we have 200 kilometers. And it's all fenced.
240 kilometers of roads you have to create?
No, 136 kilometers of roads. So by drainage, we have about 213 or so of drainage. But the most challenging is that, you know, the land, it was just a jungle, it was a mangrove. Marshland. We have to remove you know, all the trees.
You have to clear
it, and then we pump 65 million, cubic meters of sand, which is quite a lot. We have to bring the two world's biggest dredgers to work there continuously for almost about 10, 11 months. Our refinery, not the fertilizer, the refinery section alone has the highest number of piles you can find anywhere in the world, which is 136,000 piles. It's huge. It's 100, so everything about this refinery is very, very huge. You can see the regenerator, which they are showing here.
Can we have some? What's that?
Yes, this one is weighing 3,000 metric tons.
You have to generate your own power?
No. This regenerator, it regenerates the crude.
You generate
the crude.
Okay.
Yes. So. So we have this, but you know, the real challenge of the project is that we have to build our own port, because none of the ports in Nigeria can actually take the weight.
That's the thing. Where do you get this from?
This from Hyundai, Korea.
From Korea?
Yeah.
And you managed to ship it all the way from Korea
yes,
to...
we have actually 7 of these.
Okay.
This is the biggest, then we have another smaller ones, and this thing has to be rolled out. And so the ports in Nigeria, the heaviest equipment they can take might be maybe 150 tons or so. And then we are faced with the roads. If you look at what this one is going to go on now, they put on the this thing.
And what
we have to build a special road for all our equipment to be able to pass. You know.
What is this creature?
Which one is that?
Well,
the other one. Okay, the other one is the heaters.
Filters.
Filters and heaters, they are the same.
Okay, to ensure the flow.
Yeah, the flow of the oil, to heat it up, and so.
Through the Dangote Foundation, he's pledged over $1 billion to fight hunger, disease, poverty, and illiteracy. He's battled malaria, rebuilt hospitals, invested in African education. He partners with Bill Gates to eradicate polio and funds youth entrepreneurship. Yet even his philanthropy is quiet, nearly invisible. He didn't inherit a business. He inherited a continent's limits and shattered them. So who is Aliko Dangote? A man obsessed with numbers, a silent revolutionary, a private king. The richest black person alive doesn't dance in the spotlight. He builds in silence.
Mr. Aliko Dangote, President and Chief Executive of Dangote Industries Limited and Chairman of the Aliko Dangote Foundation. And Bill Gates, co-chair, Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation. Good. Small boss. So, the first question that I will ask is to Mr. Aliko Dangote, Alhaji, as we call him. Alhaji, your goal is for children to lead healthy, productive lives no matter where they're born. How does nutrition, specifically fortification, fit in to this question?
Well, thank you very much, Laura and Bill. It's great to be here. I think one of the greatest factors that undermine progress is malnutrition, which a lot of kids, they don't really have access to enough food and also nutritious food. So, but what we have done in Nigeria, because it's not new, we've started this a very, very long time ago, because if you look at it, for example, to do with iodization started in Nigeria in 1993. At that time, the coverage was about 40%. And by 2005, we had already reached about 95% of coverage. And as we speak today, we have reached 98% of coverage in iodization. On food, what we have done to make sure there's, how do we get good, nutritious food to the society? So what we did in 2002, when we first started refining of sugar, we were the first company in Africa to introduce fortification into sugar. because I mean it took us a long time to be able to figure out, okay, at what point do you actually apply the fortification? So what we did was we worked with Standard Organization of Nigeria, we worked with UNICEF, and also some technical people to see, okay, fine, how do we really create these equipments where they will now dose the vitamins at the end of it, so that our children will be able to consume that. Food items, majority of them like sugar, wheat products, which means flour, pasta, noodles, vegetable oil, and then the sugar. All of this, they brought out regulations where they say that it is mandatory to apply vitamin fortification.
Very much. Thank you. And Bill, you and Alhaji have a lot of influence. We all know this. But to achieve your nutrition goals, you've chosen to build a coalition of private sector, philanthropy, government, to help achieve these nutrition goals for Nigeria and beyond. So what is the role of this broader coalition in your food fortification work?
Well, it's pretty important that we focus more on nutrition, because about 40% of the kids who do survive end up not with physical or mental development. And a big part of that can be reduced with this food fortification. But to really get it right, you've got to make sure the requirements are there, the government's able to go out and measure it, so that they make sure nobody's trying to save a little money by not doing this well. The greatest example was what was done with salt, the iodine enhancement there. Globally, that's been a huge advance, and that's reduced the cretinism that resulted from that iodine deficiency. Now we're taking 5 additional micronutrients where the costs are actually quite small. Vitamin D, iron, B12, that have very positive benefits. And we're trying to make sure in every country that the typical diet that a child will have, whether it's rice or bouillon or flour, that across those staples, they get every single one of these micronutrients.
As Africa rises, one man stands as both symbol and architect. So who is Aliko Dangote? A boy with a dream, a builder of nations, or a quiet king? In an empire no one else could imagine, this was only a glimpse into his world. Watch again. Listen closer, because sometimes the loudest men say the least. This is the secret life of the richest black man alive. And the story is far from over.